In this session of Weaving Basics, we will learn how to tie choke ties. I am now at the stage where I need to put on my choke ties. Choke ties are extremely important in your warp because they keep the warp from slipping when you put the warp onto the loom. One of the things that happens so often is when you're dressing the loom and you put tension on as you're starting to wind your warp onto the back, is that your threads slip next to each other, and you really don't want that to happen. The choke ties will prevent you from doing that. We need to have a tie around our cross, on either side of our cross. Those aren't done too tightly because our elastics go in there. Then the first choke tie comes a foot or 12 inches away from the cross. That's done very tightly. Again, 18 inches away from the cross, very tightly. Then you have your counting thread. And in this case, I only need one more because I have a short warp. If I had a longer warp, I would be doing one more counting or one more choke tie each yard. So my choke ties are made from old thrums from other projects. The first one I double up, and I'm going to put this one through the cross, making sure I don't catch that guide thread that I put in there. Around, back out on the other side of a cross. For security, I do it again, and back out on the other side of the cross. I have now completely secured my cross on both sides. This one I tie in a knot because I don't want to lose it. Choke tie on other side here, once here. This is just a single strand, twice around, half knot, tight if I can. It's a little harder to get them tight in this area. And there is my loop that comes through, and I pull it like that. Here comes the other side. Thread around once, thread around twice, half knot, and there's my loop. When I want to undo this, all I have to do is pull that short end and that choke tie will come off. You can also choke at the bottom if you choose. I tend to only choke on the top areas because that way I always know which is the top side of my warp. Sometimes I have to make several warps because my warping pegs are too narrow if I have a wide warp, and so by having the choke ties always on the top, I know I can match up the warp in the right order. Now we come to the really important ones. As I said, the first really important choke tie is here. Take your thread, make sure it goes twice around, and this time it's going to be tight, really tight. Pull tight, do your half shoelace knot, pull the thread through, tighten up, again, as if you were pulling a second knot, but there's the loop, which means that when you're ready to untie it, all you have to do is pull that little end and the tie will come out. That was the 12-inch tie. Here comes the tie for the 18-inch. So choke the warp carefully twice around. Pull it tight. Half knot. Tight. Half knot again. There's your loop. This is the end that you pull when you come off, when you want to pull the choke tie loose again. So this one and this one, very, very important. As tight as you can possibly make them. You will be so grateful later on when you have done it this way. One last choke tie is down here at the very end. Again, being careful not to catch that guide thread because we do need that again for the next warp we're going to be making. Twice around, tight, half loop, and there are your choke ties. In the next session, we will finish making our warp and learn how to remove, chain, and store it.